Don't feel the pressure. That article mentioned in the text was one published by Zimmerman back in May. In it, she reports Seth Rich was responsible for the DNC emails leaked during the 2016 presidential election, citing Wheeler as one of her main sources. The lawsuit also alleges the motivation behind that article was to divert attention away from the Trump administration's alleged collusion with Russia. But let's take a closer look at Rod Wheeler and his allegations. He claims he was misquoted and ultimately defamed. Specifically, Wheeler says that he never said this: "My investigation up to this point shows there was some degree of email exchange between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks." However, an audio recording of Wheeler proves he does indeed stand by that statement.
It kind of makes sense in a way, because with everybody pushing back on this email thing in the family, and they're so protective of the email, it leads me to think that perhaps there were some communication between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks.
Here he is on Fox News with Sean Hannity confirming that statement once again.
When you look at that with the totality of everything else that I found in this case, it's very consistent for a person with my experience to begin to think, well, perhaps there were some email communications between Seth and WikiLeaks. I don't know for sure. I don't know, as a matter of fact, if the emails went out to the WikiLeaks or anybody else, but it sure appears that way.
Furthermore, Butowski told us that Wheeler had other intentions, including getting in touch with former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, and more importantly, getting a job at the White House. Butowski explained that he had several White House connections and said that Wheeler was eager to take advantage of them to gain a position. Wheeler repeatedly asked for a way onto the Trump team, saying that, quote, "I really think I could help him."
Rod Wheeler was constantly asking me to get him in to get a job at the White House. Rod Wheeler wanted a job at the White House. He said, "I need to join the Trump team. I can help him." Hint, hint. Rod was saying things like, "I need to get in there. They need my help." They said, "Ed, can you give me an interview? I want to be on Sessions' team. I can be really valuable."
But his requests for favors and pleas to join the Trump team contradict his current lawsuit, which says Fox News, along with the White House, concocted the entire story. Butowski also says Wheeler had a personal agenda of pursuing a more intimate relationship with Fox 5's Marina Morocco, who first broke the story.
And he was trying to do more than just be her friend. So he was leaking things to her. And then the night before the article was coming out, he sent, and he called me up and said, "What do you think if I leaked a little bit of this to Maria Morocco so she could tease it out?"
Though in a 26-minute recording of a phone call, Wheeler suggests he wasn't pleased that Marina had leaked the tape.
She recorded me saying that to her. But I told her, I said, Marina, you can't go with this story because this is a Fox News story. She said, "Oh, I'm not going to go with it. It's just going to be a teaser." 10 o'clock at night when the news comes on, this is the top of the news show, and it's an exclusive breaking news, not a teaser. And I'm like, what?
However, Wheeler goes on to talk in depth about his investigation. He explains how the information he's personally uncovered doesn't add up, claiming that there appears to be more to the case than a robbery gone wrong. Butowski confirmed this, adding that the case was getting locked down from the very top.
And Rod Wheeler tells me that there's a massive cover-up going on there, and they were told by Muriel Bowser, the mayor, through from Donna Brazile to Muriel Bowser to Chief Justice Newsom, "Don't ever look at this case. Don't talk about this case. Never want to hear about this case."
Wheeler also reveals his own sources, such as Joey Dellacamera, the lead detective in Washington, are too afraid to talk about what they know without some kind of protection.
But he kept telling me the entire conversation, "Rod, I can't tell you anything. I can't." I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, they want us to not say anything about this case and kind of like stand down." "Really?" I said, "Who?" He said, "Come on, man, I can't tell you anymore. You know that." He said, "I don't want you to throw me under the bus."
Wheeler went on to say that Seth's brother, Aaron, had stonewalled his investigation, demanding that he avoid any mention of Seth's emails and forbidding him from looking into Seth's job.
With everybody pushing back on this email thing in the family, and they're so protective of the email, it leads me to think that perhaps there were some communication between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks.
Aaron Rich apparently told Wheeler Seth's death had nothing to do with his job and instructed him to look into the botched robbery theory.
I need to get more information, though, about his relationships on the job. And every time I would say that, Aaron would just totally go off. I mean, literally. I told you don't be looking at the job. I've investigated it.
Aaron even claimed that he had Seth Rich's laptop in his possession and refused to give Rod Wheeler access to it. Driving another nail in the coffin of Wheeler's lawsuit, in his phone call, he also claimed the anonymous FBI agent had concrete proof linking Seth Rich to WikiLeaks.
I said, look, I just learned that there's an FBI agent or a former FBI agent who says he knows for a fact that emails were sent from Seth Rich's computer to WikiLeaks. I said the police department needs to know about this because that may hold the key to solving the murder.
With all that proof, it seems odd Wheeler would suddenly try to connect the story to Russian meddling in the election. In fact, not only is there no evidence that Trump had anything to do with Wheeler's investigation, there's also nothing linking him with an election conspiracy involving Moscow. But according to Butowski, Wheeler already knows that.
The bottom line is, based on everything that you've seen and heard, and this is his words, he knows the Russians had nothing to do with the emails getting to WikiLeaks. He knows it was Seth Rich.
And that is the bottom line. Rod Wheeler has taken back what he said twice already, apparently twisting his narrative to suit his needs. His on-the-record and off-the-record comments don't match, and he's been recorded multiple times claiming his investigation had revealed something unusual. Not that he was instructed by the president to do anything, not that anyone forced him to these conclusions, but that his own research found something that appeared to be a cover-up. It's not clear how the case will proceed, but one thing does seem likely. This probably isn't the last time Rod Wheeler will change his story. Pearson Sharp,